The Nintendo Switch eShop, home to 3,000 plus Switch games. Ah, what a beautiful sight. But there's one specific clan of games that lives on this part of the planet that I would like to talk to you about. That's right, free first-party Switch games. Now, hold on, you're probably thinking, Nintendo makes free games?
Yes!
However, as I previously mentioned, this video will only be covering free first-party Switch games, so say goodbye to Animal Crossing Empty Pocket and Mario Kart Paid Tour. Before we dive into this video, here are just a few rules about the games that I consider free first-party Nintendo Switch games. 1. As long as you can purchase the game with $0, it counts as free, even though the inclusion of microtransactions will affect my experience with the game, and in turn, how I feel about the game. 2. If online is in the title, I do not consider it a free game. Thus, the NES and SNES Online will not be part of this video. However, since some of these games can benefit from NSO interactivity, but can still be played without it, I will be including and taking a look at the parts of these games where NSO is needed in order to play online multiplayer, like Super Kirby Clash. Though I'm aware this makes this rule pointless, and that you will still need to pay for an NSO membership, that does not change the fact that I need content for this video because, well, I like playing games so much, of course, no other reason. 3. Game franchises that are exclusive to Nintendo consoles developed by a second-party company I consider to be first-party Nintendo games. For example, Pokémon. With all of that technical stuff out of the way, if any of you guys recently got a Switch, congrats! And I hope you, and people who already own a Switch, can use this video to learn about the games you can download and enjoy right now without paying a cent. Without further ado, the first game I'll be discussing is a little game called Super Kirby Clash. First revealed in a Nintendo Direct, this game is a successor to Team Kirby Clash Deluxe, which is a successor to Planet Robobot's minigame Team Kirby Clash, which is a successor to Pokémon Catch the Numbers for the Sega Pico. If you're as eager to start your Super Kirby Clash journey with some friends as I was, you'll soon realize after finishing the basic tutorials that you can't play online with them just yet. First, as far as I can tell, you want to play a couple of story quests, 2 or 3 even, and bada boom, party mode has been unlocked. Before we get into party mode though, I'd like to talk about single player, as party mode involves some
shady things.
And after playing single player for a bit, I can safely say, it's a Kirby boss rush with bot teammates. To sum it up, it's chaotic, messy, fun. Now party mode is all that good stuff, plus the added bonus of playing with friends, as you share the common goal of destroying
Electric Dragon.
Not only is the gameplay chaotic goodness, but you can also dress up your Kirby in wardrobe greatness by buying clothes from the shop. Side note, I found it really cool that they repurposed Maglor yet again for the somewhat recent Kirby game. I say yet again because of his appearance in the Kirby 35th Anniversary Collection for the Wii. But now, we're getting off topic. Let's go back to the game that's a successor to Pokémon Catch the Numbers for the Sega Pico. Going back to the shop, these clothes also provide your Kirby with any combination of the various buffs. Stamina, attack, recovery, and Team Meteor. The first 2 stats are pretty obvious. However, for extra clarity, the Team Meteor is a special team attack you can perform by collecting these power tablets in the boss's stage. Now let's get to the scary part of this game, Gem Apples. What are Gem Apples, you're probably wondering? Well, let me break it down for you.
Microtransactions.
This not only goes back to the Kirby dress-up you can do, but also allows you to buy new weapons. What a perfect transition for me to talk about the weapons and class systems in this game. Starting off with the class system, you can choose which class you'd like to play as before you get into battles. The classes you can choose from are as follows: Sword Kirby, Magic Beam Wand Kirby, Healer Kirby, and
King TDD
Kirby. They're pretty self-explanatory. Meanwhile, the weapons in this game are also self-explanatory. While the aesthetic changes are cool, the main purpose for the weapons you can buy in the shop is to provide your Kirby with a stronger weapon. That makes sense. The weapon buffs follow the exact same template as the clothes, excluding the stamina stat and replacing it with the attack stat. Going back to the Gem Apples for just a sec, I feel the inclusion of these microtransactions is more of a speed boost to get here faster, as I have yet to feel like buying Gem Apples would help me beat a certain boss. So, that's about it for Super Kirby Clash. A nice treat for anyone who wants to play a chaotic boss rush game with friends or even by themselves. Now, I know game lists often save the best title for last, but I couldn't help myself. I really want to talk about this game. What is this game? Jump Rope Challenge. To start playing, you gotta detach your Joy-Cons, start jumping, and motion your Joy-Cons in the way you would jump rope. But that's not all. There are
Super ultra omega cool.
costumes for this little funny bunny. Did I really just say funny bunny? No, we'll cut that out. Right, Mr. Editor Guy?
No way, I would like to keep this in the video, because it is funny.
Anyways, we got Metroid, Zelda, and wait, no way. When I first found this out, I was so excited this game was getting more recognition from Nintendo. That's right, there's a costume referencing the arcade bunny from the 3DS title, Nintendo Badge Arcade. But don't worry, I hear ya. That is without a doubt the best cameo in any Nintendo game. But let's not forget, this game is about fitness. So, you could check your progress from the days you've played this game, set a challenge goal to push yourself to reach a certain amount of jumps, or hey, even jump rope with a friend. Once you've beaten your daily challenge goal, which should automatically be 100 jumps, the background of your game will start changing like a screensaver set to different places of the world. Of course, the main reason this game is so cool is because it gets you to exercise. One last cool thing about this game, every jump you do plays a note of music, and if there's 2 players, there's also a drum beat. It's little touches like these that make Nintendo games so charming. Well, that's Jump Rope Challenge, a neat little distraction that could do you some good. Unless, you know, it's just really tempting. The next title we're going to be looking at is Pokémon Quest, and if you look carefully enough, you can also see that the whole world forgot what a circle was. Wait, Mr. Editor Guy, is this the right game?
Yes, I bet my son's entire life savings.
No, you don't have to do that. Why would you do that?
Yeah, Dad, I do not appreciate that.
This does not involve you, little Timmy.
Nothing ever does.
That's better. So yeah, this game's art style is pretty distinctive, and I don't really care for it, but if you do, more power to you. Starting off with the gotta catch 'em all aspect. You catch Pokemon by cooking up a storm and attract different types of Pokemon depending on what you cook. There are 4 categories of the different dishes you can cook in this game. The first category consists of a single dish, and it's probably the first one you'll make. Mulligan Stew a la Cube. To cook this, throw a bunch of random ingredients together. However, if all the ingredients are the same color, well then that brings us to our next category, colored dishes. They attract the same color of Pokemon depending on the chosen ingredients. Next are the type dishes, which decide the type of Pokemon you'll encounter. These dishes are made with more specific ingredients. And lastly is a single dish category like the first, called the Ambrosia of Legends a la Cube. This dish guarantees a legendary or mythical Pokemon. In order to cook this dish, all you need is to make sure you have 1 mystical shell. After your dish has finished cooking, the Pokemon will appear at your base. And don't worry, you won't miss it. The game will take a pause and identify the newly encountered Pokemon. So what do you do with the Pokemon? Well, the Pokemon you encounter can be used to fight in levels where you explore an area and ultimately must defeat a big version of a pre-existing Pokemon. Doing these missions rewards you with ingredients and sometimes Power Stones. Power Stones can be given to Pokemon you wish to use in battle and will upgrade their stats and abilities. You can also force Pokemon to learn a new move of the same type by sacrificing any unwanted Pokemon. Wow. That doesn't sound great, huh? Also important to your team's success is knowing what this number means. It acts as a power level estimation of what your team's power level should be. So, if your team's power level is too low, good luck. Generally though, I found in the earlier levels especially, that you could get away with a 1000 less power level than what is suggested. Though I don't recommend it, since your leveling gets way behind in the later missions. Also, I'm not sure if it's called a power level, I just think that's a cool way of describing it. A way to increase your team's power level is through these stones, which can be used on Pokemon's individual skill tree. This is where some strategy comes into play, as which Pokemon do you want to give what to, etc. When you're going through these linear levels, you can press which attack you'd like each Pokemon to use, and then choose another of their moves once the cooldown is complete. As I was playing this game, the mechanic got old over time. Just press the attack, watch the Pokemon attack, wait, press it again, oh no, they died. I think it's because I wasn't interested as much in the underlying depth of the team comps and whatnot, but also because the combat isn't too interesting to me, as I said earlier. How they could implement more real-time strategy, I couldn't tell you, but nonetheless, this game is solid. and you can also get some shiny Pokemon. I myself have a shiny Dratini. Not trying to flex or anything. Pokémon Quest is also on mobile, and oh yeah, I seriously almost forgot to include this, but Pokémon Quest has microtransactions, which you can use to get stuff. Literally. The microtransactions allow you to buy decorations for your base using the Square Pokédollar currency system, which are purely for the sake of spiffying up your base. You can also use this currency to keep any items you found in a level where all your Pokemon fainted, and more little things along those lines, like increasing your energy bar, so that you can play levels without waiting in real time. You can get this currency without spending money by collecting, I'll admit, a rather small amount of them every 24 hours. So my experience with the game was lessened because I didn't spend money, mainly having to wait to play and not getting that amazing Snorlax Archway. But I think I'll manage. And there we go. That's the end for Pokémon Quest. Play it if you have some time on your hands and are looking for a grindy, simple, lighthearted Pokemon spin-off. That is one very specific niche right there. So those were the main games I knew I wanted to talk about, but there were two more that according to my rules I could still discuss and that I wanted to discuss. One of which is Pokemon Cafe Mix, but I already talked about Pokemon, so I decided on Super Mario 35. I feel this game is very relevant to modern Nintendo, a company that enjoys releasing nostalgic items of their retro titles, but also leaning into limited availability and online membership perks. Wow, that's a good comparison. Nice one, Jup. I know this game is 100% an NSO exclusive, but I really did want to make a video on it, and I don't think it has enough content to make one exclusively about Mario 35. So, let's open up a metaphor for everyone's favorite gaming company, Super Mario 35. Well, first looking at this game, it really screams Super Mario 35. Starting with the game's main draw, you play through different classic Super Mario levels and compete to be the last Mario standing out of 35. You can pick the level to start off playing, but after that, the game decides which level you will be playing next by choosing a random level. I'm not going to go in depth about unlocking them, but I think it's obvious for a game like this. Just play more to unlock more. Going back to the gameplay, it's not just playing through Super Mario Bros. Every enemy you defeat will appear on one of the other Mario's games. The same applies to how you can receive enemies from other Marios. One more thing to note is before the level selection, you can choose to equip a power-up before you get into battle by spending the coins you've collected from your previous Mario 35 games. So, now that we've talked about the standard Mario 35 battles, let's talk about the special battles. These battles are all preset, meaning what's special about them can vary. For example, depending on the special battle that's being held during the time you're playing, the level will change, and who knows, you may start with a power-up, you may start with some extra coins. It truly is a special battle. So now you know how battles work, but let's say you want to get good. Well then, do I have the game mode for you? It's called Practice. No, seriously, it's called Practice. So after you've practiced and gotten some dubs, how are you going to prove to your friends that you've gotten good? Well, that's why we have the statistics menu. You could see how many enemies you've jumped on, how many dubs you've collected. Ignoring that, there are also daily challenges to complete that generally consist of beating basic gameplay obstacles. For example, getting a certain amount of power-ups, or beating a certain amount of courses. These challenges will add to your coins that you can use to buy power-ups before you start a battle. And with that, Mario 35 has been successfully talked about. Well, there you have it. Those were some free first-party Switch games that I wanted to talk about and shed some light on. Some of these games I'm sure you've heard of, but others you may have forgotten about. So I hope this video has given you some new games to try out. And remember, #JumpRopeChallenge for Game of the Year 2021. Hey, anything's possible. What is up, my fellow viewers? If you like this video, why not like this video? Subscribe if you want to subscribe, and as always, have a wonderful day. See ya!